Hello everyone, and welcome to Module 1 of the Focus Learn series. Today, we are going to dive into the absolute essentials of SharePoint. Whether you are completely new to the platform or just looking to sharpen your day-to-day workflow, this session is designed to give you a solid foundation. Let's get started. We have a packed agenda today broken down into 3 core parts. First, we'll demystify what SharePoint actually is, how it fits into the broader Microsoft 365 ecosystem, and how to navigate your home page. Second, we'll tackle file management, everything from opening and editing documents to understanding version history and managing sharing permissions. Last, we'll go over how to build a basic page and add dynamic web parts. As we go through today's training, I want you to think about what is the number one thing you use SharePoint for now. Then after the training, consider what else you could use SharePoint for. To give you a real-world example, here is a look at our very own Focus Hub. This homepage acts as a centralized portal for our division. On the main page, you can see upcoming division events, participate in quick polls, and stay updated with our division news bulletin, the Daily Drip. A well-structured SharePoint site keeps everyone aligned without the need to scroll through an endless inbox of emails. Section 1. What is SharePoint? Okay, let's answer the foundational question. What exactly is SharePoint? At its core, it is a web-based collaborative platform within Microsoft 365 that organizes data online. Think of it in 4 ways. First, it's a secure, organized storage unit for cloud framework collaboration. Second, it's a personalized intranet where you can follow and quickly access your most visited team sites. Third, it operates as an intelligent workspace with deep search capabilities across documents and members. And finally, it's a flexible access portal, allowing you to work securely from any device, anywhere, with seamless cloud syncing. To understand how a SharePoint site is set up, we need to look at its content framework. First up are lists. Think of a SharePoint list as a smarter, highly collaborative spreadsheet. They are structured tables ideal for tracking repeatable data, things like tasks, inventories, requests, or contacts. You can format lists in various layouts like galleries, calendars, or boards, and use filters and automation to streamline your team's tracking. Connected directly to lists are list forms. SharePoint allows you to create customized form experiences for data entry. Instead of having users type directly into a spreadsheet row, a tailored form guides them through specific fields and logic. This drastically reduces data entry errors and improves consistency, making it the perfect tool for request intake, event registrations, or approval workflows. Now, a common point of confusion is the difference between a document library and a SharePoint list. Let's break it down. In a document library, the focus is entirely on the file itself, like PDFs, Word docs, or images. It supports full file co-authoring, check-in/checkout capabilities to lock files while editing, and file-level metadata. In a SharePoint list, the focus is on the data row. You are entering text, dates, or numbers into individual records. While you can attach a file to a list row, the item itself is data-driven, not file-driven. The final piece of SharePoint's content framework are pages. Pages are lightweight, modern web pages that serve as flexible canvases for presenting information. You use web parts to easily snap in text, images, videos, or dynamic links. They are perfect for building team homepages or training hubs, such as our Focus Learn portal, which gives staff a clean visual space to find exactly what they need without digging through deep folder structures. SharePoint doesn't live on an island. It is truly the connective tissue of Microsoft 365. SharePoint seamlessly integrates across your entire Microsoft 365 suite. Your communication tools like Teams and Outlook use SharePoint backend infrastructure to share files. Data tools like OneDrive, Lists, and Power BI feed directly into it. Your standard Office apps let you co-author in real time. And for advanced workflows, the Power Platform, which includes Power Apps and Power Automate, can trigger automated processes right out of your SharePoint data repositories. When you first land on the global SharePoint homepage, navigation is split to keep you organized. Your interface highlights 4 main spaces. Following shows you the specific sites you've bookmarked. Recent tracks the locations you've actively worked in. Frequent populates the hubs you visit most often. And news from sites aggregates recent updates and announcements across your division, so you never miss a beat. Finding content is incredibly efficient thanks to the built-in search bar. It's important to understand the difference between site search and global search. If you use a search box pinned to a specific page or list, it will contextually query only within that current site's boundaries. If you use the global bar, it instantly queries your entire organizational ecosystem and scans files, sites, pages, metadata, and people matching your query. One easy way to immediately determine where you're searching is to look at the placeholder text within the search bar. That placeholder text updates based on where you're searching, such as searching this in SharePoint, this site, this library, or this list. Section 2. SharePoint Files. When it comes to working with files in SharePoint, saving is very simple. When a file lives in SharePoint, autosave and version history are immediately enabled to ensure every single keystroke is saved and backed up to the cloud in real time, completely eliminating the risk of losing your work if your computer crashes. And saving files to SharePoint is a breeze no matter where you start. From your desktop app, you can go the traditional Save as route and choose SharePoint as a save location. SharePoint is automatically added as a save location to your Office apps once you are a member of a SharePoint site. Understanding your file paths, OneDrive versus SharePoint. Think of OneDrive as your personal work desk and SharePoint as the division's shared filing cabinet. When you look at your recent files, the starting path tells you where the file is currently sitting. If it says OneDrive, the file is in your private workspace. Even if you created it using a desktop app like Word, it syncs to your personal cloud disk first. If it says a team site like ANR Drinking Water, the file is in a shared cabinet that your whole team can see. Rest assured, your name is still attached to your files as the author, no matter which path is showing. You can even save files directly from your File Explorer window by utilizing either Sync or Add shortcut to OneDrive. Both are easy ways to bridge your SharePoint files over to your local desktop. Choosing Sync creates a local mirrored copy of an entire document library on your computer, accessible via File Explorer. It's great for heavy offline work because it mirrors the whole library structure. Alternatively, Add shortcut to OneDrive creates a simple link directly inside your personal OneDrive folder. It doesn't duplicate or mirror anything, making it the ideal choice for quick, lightweight access to a specific shared folder you use frequently. Microsoft recommends that you use the OneDrive shortcut feature more than Sync, because shortcuts are less taxing on your computer's memory and storage, and shortcuts are often the better choice for standard workflows. If you do choose Sync, make sure the library's files are limited to under 300,000 files for best performance. If you prefer working directly out of your web browser, you only need to navigate to a document library to get started. From here, click on the Create or Upload button to instantly generate a new web document or upload files or folders straight into the cloud. Notice the progress bar at the bottom that tells you when your file is uploaded and gives you an option to notify your team once it's completed. You can select specific users or groups to send an email letting them know a file is in the document library ready to collaborate on. Also, remember that while browser-based Office apps are incredibly fast and autosave natively, you can always click Open in Desktop app if you need advanced formatting features that the browser version doesn't support. Working with SharePoint files. Okay, let's start working within SharePoint. First, you can learn details about any file by clicking the Details icon in the upper right corner of the document library to open up the Details pane. Think of this as your file's command center. Without even opening the document, you can see who has access, modify metadata properties, view the file size, and view an audit log of recent activity showing exactly who edited the file last. Next, have you ever had a colleague accidentally delete a critical section of a document? Don't panic. SharePoint makes it easy to recover former versions of a file with version history. By clicking the three dots next to any file, you can access version history. This shows a chronological backlog of every single saved iteration. You can view past versions, see who made changes, and completely restore an older version with a single click. Versions are saved and tracked based on the timestamp of each file modification. Under Microsoft's intelligent versioning policy, every version saved within the first 30 days is kept to ensure deep recovery options. As file versions age, They automatically taper down over time and move to hourly snapshots after a month, daily snapshots after 2 months, and weekly snapshots beyond 6 months. This intelligent trimming optimizes cloud storage while retaining a hard cap of 500 total versions per file. Please check with the Agency of Digital Services current file retention policies for the most accurate description of how versioning occurs. Sharing files securely is incredibly straightforward because, like it says in the name, SharePoint sharing is as easy as point and share. Clicking the Share button opens up a robust permission dashboard. You can tailor your link settings to work for anyone in the state of Vermont, restrict it to certain people with existing access, or lock it down exclusively to specific individuals. You can also dictate whether recipients can edit, simply review, view only, or block file downloading entirely. You can manage access from that shared dialog box or from a file's detail pane. While real-time co-authoring is highly useful, there are times you want to prevent others from making edits while you're doing some heavy editing or data restructuring. In these cases, you can check out a file. Checking out a document exclusively reserves it for you, locking down editing capabilities for everyone else until you check it back in. If you forget to check the file back in, it restricts everyone else to a read-only mode where they can view the document but cannot save any changes. Any edits you make remain entirely invisible to the rest of the team until you check the file back in, and any automation or approval workflows can completely stall. If a file is left checked out, coworkers cannot simply click a button to request access. They must manually ping you via Teams or Outlook, or rely on a site administrator to forcibly check the file in, which risks permanently wiping away your unsaved progress, so be sure to remind yourself to check a file back in once you've completed your work. Section 3. SharePoint Pages. Now that we've covered the core concepts, let's jump to building pages in SharePoint. Think of pages like lightweight websites that don't require you to have any web development experience. Starting on our site homepage, we'll head to the top menu bar, click on New, and select Page. SharePoint will offer a few templates, but we're going to start with a clean slate and select Blank. The first thing we need to do is give our page a purpose, so we'll scroll up to the top and type in our title. Let's just call it Test Page. SharePoint automatically saves the page in Site Pages once you name the title. Now, the true magic of SharePoint pages comes from web parts. Web parts are simply the building blocks of a page, such as text, images, or documents, which form your page layout. Before we add a web part, I want to point out 2 different kinds of additions that can be made within a page: sections and web parts. When you scroll down into the page, you will see 2 kinds of plus signs, a blue one and a gray one. The blue ones are section dividers, and the gray ones are web part insertions. Sections allow you to change the layout and design of a particular part of the page. Web part insertions, on the other hand, are simply another way to add in a web part. The primary way to add web parts is to open the Toolbox panel on the right-hand side. This menu shows all available web parts. There are many options, but let's choose the text web part first. Simply type out your text and use the editing toolbar for simple text edits. Additional web part options can be found under the Properties sidebar menu, especially for parts like images. You can upload a photo directly from my computer or select one from our site assets to instantly embed it onto the page. Finally, if you want to embed a document right into the page, all you need to do is add the File and Media web part. And you can see, once I have selected the SharePoint Basics Companion Guide, the actual contents of the Word document are fully visible right on the web page. All edits auto-save as you work, but it remains a draft hidden from the team until you are completely finished. Once it looks perfect, you can either save and close to save all edits and remain a draft, or you can publish to make it visible to all viewers of the site. Both are in the top menu bar. And that brings us to the end of this module. I want to thank you for taking the time to review this training. If you would like to keep your learning momentum going, please scan the QR code on your screen to jump straight to our Focus Learn Hub. You can also find extended modules like SharePoint Essentials over on the CAPS Learning Portal or through Microsoft's Learn Hub. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next module.